going on, everybody? Welcome back into TTP Sports. And should we say the Phillies swept the Mets? I guess you could say the Phillies swept the Mets in a two-game series, since these are two separate two-game series. They swept the two games in Queens. That's basically the bottom line there after the comeback in last night's game. And just basically, Nola took over this game today. Complete game shutout. He was amazing. He was amazing. He was amazing. 8 strikeouts. He was flirting with, a no-no through 5 innings. Only allowed 4 hits, 0 walks. Goes the distance through 109 pitches. He was great. He was great. Offensively, especially for today, the past couple of games, the offense hasn't been the best. But when your starting pitching is pitching like this, you're going to win most games. You're going to win most games, even if you only score a few runs. So it's nice to see your pitching step up here in the past couple of games, even though besides Zack Wheeler on Sunday against Miami, when your offense isn't hitting with runners in scoring position, and when your offense is missing bodies, because the past couple of games you missed Schwarber, JT, including with the Trey Turner injury. Now today, Schwarber came back. You didn't have Bryce Harper because he had a migraine issue earlier today, so they, just decided to rest him for today. And then you still don't have JT, and obviously you still don't have Trey Turner, so that's still 3 big bodies missing in your lineup, and that's probably understandable why your offense is slumping a little bit, except for Bryson Stott. Bryson Stott has been a beast this entire month of May, and we'll get into Bryson Stott because he's been fantastic. He's been fantastic. He has been the carry weight of this offense because he's just amazing. My God, the at-bats that he has, the way that he can get just put the ball in play, he just makes it a living nightmare out there for pitchers. That's what Bryson Stott does. That's what he's been basically doing his first couple of seasons in Major League Baseball. It's very fun to see. Very fun. I'm really enjoying Bryson Stott right now. Who isn't enjoying Bryson Stott right now? It's amazing. Drove in. He had the home run in the 9th inning last night with the go-ahead run in the 10th inning yesterday as well. And then, he had some insurance in today's ball game, which was very important. And the Phillies, they got 2 runs for Nola, and that was basically all he needed. Even though the Phillies did tack on some insurance thanks to Bryson Stott and thanks to Alec Bohm, you scored your 2 runs with the bases loaded, with deja vu, Alec Bohm getting hit by a pitch again with the bases loaded, and Brandon Marsh working a walk with the bases loaded. So that's how you scored the 2 runs. You didn't put the ball in play. You just let the Mets pitcher out there on the mound, I believe it was Buto at the time, you just let him falter a little bit, and that led to Bohm getting hit by a pitch yet again, and Marsh working a nice walk. Still very sluggish with runners in scoring position, so they're going through that stretch right now. But hey, we'll look at it because we'll look at it less right now, just because you're winning. You're the first team in Major League Baseball this year to get the 30 wins. It's fantastic stuff. You're 30-13 on the season. Best record in baseball. You're clicking on all cylinders. Your bullpen has been very good the past couple of games. Your hitting, yes, has died down a little bit, but I'll adequate that to the injuries. And your starting pitching has been fantastic. Besides one hiccup from Zack Wheeler on Sunday. That's basically it, and I expect Zack Wheeler to bounce back in his next start. So, it's good times here. And I can't ask for anything less. That's basically it there. Offensively, like I've been saying, there really isn't much to this game. The Phillies scored 4 runs in this game, and those were the only 4 runs. It was quiet starting to this game, not much going on there. Nola dominating, and the Phillies offense not doing anything until the top of the 3rd. So Rojas leads off that inning with a single, then Schwarber walks, and then, they move the 2nd and 3rd base on the Castellanos ground out. Bryson Stott works a walk. Alec Bohm gets hit by the pitch to drive in the run, then Brandon Marsh works a walk. So that was 3 walks in that 1 inning by Buto, which really screwed him over there. Phillies take a 2-0 lead, and Nola really settles down from there. A bunch of 1, 2, 3 innings. Almost got into trouble in the 5th, almost got into trouble in the 6th, but then managed to find a way to get out of that. They thought there was catcher's interference on the at-bat by Joey Wendell, which originally got him the first base. The Phillies challenged that. They overturned it. And then eventually, Phillies, Nola did their job and got the rest of the inning out and done and over with. Basically since the 3rd inning, 4th inning, Phillies offense didn't do really much. 5th inning, they didn't do much. Sixth inning, Bohm led off with a single, Marsh led off with a single, and then they managed to get the second and third base with no outs. Merrifield grounds out, Clemens strikes out, and Rojas strikes out, so you can't get any runs there, so that kind of stinks in that predicament. Top of the seventh inning, Schwarber walks, Castellanos walks. Schwarber does get picked off at second base, so that could have been something even better because Stott eventually walked in the at-bat that he had against Jake Diekman, and Jake Diekman was completely off. He was throwing all over the place, and that just kind of stung a little more that Schwarber got picked off at second base, and then nothing really happened there. Bohm grounded into a fielder's choice. Top of the eighth inning, he had a walk by Merrifield. He got the second on a wild pitch. Nothing really happens there. And then you go to the top of the ninth. That's where the Phillies had the insurance. Schwarber with a one-out double. Castellanos with a single, which brings Schwarber to third base. Bryson Stott gets the single to score Schwarber. Alec Bohm hits a ground rule double, which scores Castellanos, makes it 4-0. Marsh grounds into a fielder's choice, and then Whit Merrifield flies at the center. Whit Merrifield has not been pretty lately. It's been very ugly for Whit Merrifield. Yeah, it's been ugly. And I was in favor of the Whit Merrifield signing, and I think you're seeing why he was signed to be more of a bench platoon role guy than a guy that's playing every day in the lineup, because he's being forced to play every day in the lineup because of the injuries. And I think we're seeing that little bit of, happening right there. Bottom of the ninth inning, Nola doing his thing. McNeil had a double. Marsh overplayed it a little bit. He allowed a single to Marte with 2 outs, but then he got Lindor on one pitch. And there was one inning which was just fantastic by Nola. I believe it was I'm trying to remember which inning was it. It was the 7th inning, actually, when, going deep into the ball game, or the Mets eventually going to wake up. You're going to the top of the lineup, basically, for the Mets. Marte leads off with a bloop single, but then Lindor lines out on the very next pitch, and then Pete Alonso grounds into a double play on the very next pitch. All 3-pitch sequence there. A classic 3-pitch inning after a leadoff guy gets a single for Aaron Nola. So that was some crazy stuff there. Aaron Nola was just great. Aaron Nola was just great, and that is the bottom line there. Looking at the lineup today, Kyle Schwarber, he was 1 for 3 with 2 walks back into the lineup. Nick Castellanos, he was 1 for 4. Bryson Stott, 1 for 2 with an RBI and 3 walks into this game, so that was a very good day at the plate for Stotty. Alec Bohm, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Brandon Marsh, 1 for 4 with an RBI. Merrifield, 0 for 4 with a walk. 188 average on the year. Yeah, not going good for Mr. Whit Merrifield. Cody Clemens, he was over 4. He had over 700 feet of flyouts in his first 2 at-bats. One died at both of them basically died at the warning track, his fly ball. So it got a little bit of unluckiness there. Rojas went 1 for 4, and then Garrett Stubbs went 0 for 4. So Phillies with runners in scoring position, they went 3 for 13. They left 11 runners on base, and the only pitching stats is from Aaron Nola because he pitched a complete game shutout. You don't have to worry about the rest of the bullpen. They got some much-needed rest after being overused basically the past couple of games. So that is very important at the same time for Aaron Nola to have a start like this, and it was very important for Aaron Nola to gain some confidence because, his past couple of starts before this were very lackluster. He only went barely 4 innings against the Giants where he pitched a lot of pitches, and then against the Toronto Blue Jays, it wasn't as bad as the Giants start, but it just still left a lot to be desired. And granted, yes, the Phillies offense didn't do much that game, but still it was a lot left to be desired by Aaron Nola, and he was just fantastic today. That's just it. He was just fantastic. And these are the type of starts where you're just looking in shock and awe at Aaron Nola because he can have starts like this where he's just completely dominant. And that's the fun thing about Aaron Nola. Yeah, Aaron Nola does have starts where, like I said, a lot left to be desired, or he's just struggling basically throughout the entire thing. But this is why a lot of people view Aaron Nola as one of the top pitchers in baseball, because when he dominates, he dominates. He is unhittable. And that's exactly what happened tonight. That's exactly what happened in today's game. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Flirting with a no-hitter through 5, and then sadly it ended, but still did the job. Still got the job done, basically. Always some fun stuff there. Always. Always, always, always. And getting to some Bryson Stott stats. So this was from John Clark. I believe this was after the game or when Bryson Stott got that RBI single in the 9th. Bryson Stott with his 12th RBI over his last 9 games. He is batting .433 in the month of May. That is just great. This is also a tweet right here from Baseball Paul. Bryson Stott has 17 hits, 14 walks, and a hit by pitch in his last 13 games, meaning he has reached base safely 32 times more than twice as often as he swung and missed over that stretch. So he's seen the ball very well. I believe there was a stat from MLB Network before the game actually happened. So Bryson Stott in his last 12 games, these are stats before today's game. He is 16 for 38, batting .421, 3 home runs, 15 RBIs, and an OPS of 1354. He's doing fantastic stuff. Just fantastic stuff. He's a beast. He is a beast. It's amazing. It's fantastic. Some great stuff here, boys. Some great stuff here from your fighting Phils. You do play the Mets for 2 more games at Citizens Bank Park these next 2 days. And you have Rangers Suarez tomorrow, I believe, and you're going to have Taijuan Walker on Thursday before the weekend series against the Nationals, if I am not mistaken, if we're looking at those next 2 games. So, next 2 games, obviously, like I said, yep, it'll be Rangers Suarez. He's going up against Jose Quintana. Jose Quintana is 1-4 with a 5.44 ERA. Has not been good this season. He's allowed a run in basically every single start so far. Has barely gone deep into ball games. The only game he's gone really deep in was against the St. Louis Cardinals. He went 8 innings there, but his first start 5 innings, second start 5 innings, his fourth start 2 2/3 against Tampa Bay. He allowed 8 earned runs there, and then he allowed 4 earned runs against the Atlanta Braves in 5 innings of work. So let's, smack around Jose Quintana a little bit. And then Thursday, you got Taijuan Walker going up against Christian Scott. He's 0-1 with a 2.84 ERA. He's only started 2 games so far this year, so I'm assuming the Mets just called him up. So we'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens. And then you go to the National Series this weekend. Then you get a day off next Monday. And then you play the Texas Rangers. And then you go out on the West Coast, basically, to close out the rest of May into Memorial Day and all that stuff right there. So, yeah. Some good stuff here from the Phils. Some good stuff here from the Phils. If we're looking at the standings right now, Phillies have the best record in baseball. They're 30-13, 2 games above the Los Angeles Dodgers for the best record in baseball. And for the NL East, the Phillies are ahead of the Braves by 2.5 games, even though the Braves have played fewer games than the Phillies because I believe of a couple of rainouts. But the Braves, they're 25-13. The Nationals, they're 19-20. The Mets are 19-22. It's some good stuff. Your run differential's a plus 67. That just showcases how good your pitching has been and good your offense has been over this stretch. And for the Braves, they play the Cubs later tonight, and that should be a good game. Who is pitching for the Braves and for the Cubs in that game? It'll be Jameson Taillon going up against Chris Sale. Taillon and Sale are having some pretty good seasons for both teams, so we'll see how that game works out for either squad. Some interesting stuff here, boys. Some great stuff. It's quality content. It's quality content from your fighting Phils. That's all I can ask for. I'm trying to see if there's anything else here stat-wise just following this game. I don't think there is. Don't think there is in terms of stat-wise. This was just a good game. It was a good game. It was a quick game. It was a well-pitched game. Everything just went right for you. Basically, the only thing that really didn't go right for you was your runners in scoring position. That was basically it. But Aaron Nola had your backs. Aaron Nola had your backs. I would expect Bryce Harper to be back into the lineup tomorrow, so at least you'll have somewhat of a healthy lineup. We still don't know the whereabouts of JT Realmuto. He was catching balls for Aaron Nola in between innings. There was a little bit of a video where it looked like he grimaced a little bit with the knee, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. Do they just play Stubbs again tomorrow? You're really going to have to look out for, in the minor leagues, if the Phillies do any movings with the catchers down there just to see what happens. So we still don't know if JT is going to have an IL stint. They still think that's not going to be the case. We're just going to have to wait. We're just going to have to wait with JT. I'm assuming they haven't got an MRI done until they get back to Philadelphia. So most likely I would assume that Stubbs is going to catch again tomorrow. So pray for Garrett Stubbs. Jesus Christ, he's been a warrior. He's been a trooper. Definitely has for catching for JT. He's not the best player in the world. He's a fine backup catcher in terms of catching the game and calling the game. But you're not going to get anything offensively from Garrett Stubbs, maybe from a bunt. That's basically it. So he's battling out there. I'll give him that, battling in place of JT. And you're still winning ball games. That's the most important thing at the end of the day. So no complaints. No complaints. There's no need for complaints because you're winning. No need for complaints because you're winning. And that's all it is. That's all it is. You're just winning ball games, man. Some fun stuff. Some very, very, very fun stuff. Cannot complain whatsoever. I was just trying to see if there's anything else here on Twitter. in regards to like specific stats or anything like that. It's some good things here. So this is from Matt Gelb. Bryce Harper is feeling better. Rob Thompson said migraine was not related to being hit in the head by the throw last night. So remember when Bryce Harper got hit in the head by the catcher throwing back to the pitcher? It wasn't anything egregious. It was just an accident in that part. He was available to pinch hit today. Bryce will play tomorrow. So will JT, said. Okay. JT's going to play tomorrow, barring anything unexpected. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So at least we'll see what JT is going to do testing out that knee. He definitely looked like he was grimacing a little bit, you know, catching Nola in those between innings. So we'll see. It's a watch out process here. It definitely is. What else? I don't think there's anything else here. It's also the third time, so this is from Bob Nightingale. Aaron Nola pitched a 3-hit shutout over the Mets. That's not true with the 4-hit shutout. The Phillies' second complete game shutout of the season. It's the third time this season Aaron Nola has pitched at least 8 innings. So Aaron Nola's giving you innings. He's giving you leverage, which is very good. It helps the bullpen out a lot. It definitely does. It helps your bullpen out, and that can come volumes over, you know, the course of the rest of the season and into the playoffs. This is from Paul Casella. Aaron Nola throws the Phillies' second complete game shutout of the season. They had all of one last season. Starts of 7+ scoreless innings by Phillies starters. In 2024, the Phillies have had 6 of those. In 2023, they've only had 5. And there's still 119 games to go. So the starting pitching has just been absolutely great. Has been absolutely great. Oh, man. Absolutely fantastic. According to Anthony DeComo, he's a Mets beat writer for MLB.com. Apparently, Adrian Hauser was supposed to start tomorrow, and he just said this. Because Adrian Hauser got hot in the bullpen today, he will no longer start tomorrow night in Philadelphia. That's TBA now. But according to ESPN, it says it's Jose Quintana. So I don't know anything, I guess, at this point. I'm assuming it's going to say TBA on MLB app. So let me see for tomorrow's game what it says. Let me see for tomorrow's game. Yeah, it says TBD. So I guess ESPN got it wrong unless Jose Quintana's injured. And I just haven't seen, and the ESPN just never updated it properly. So that's interesting. So that is definitely interesting on that front. Yeah. What about anything else? Anything else? That is definitely interesting. I want to see if there's anything more here on Twitter in terms of anything just having, you know, don't think there is. Don't think there is. So, yeah. Some good stuff here. Some good stuff here by the Phillies. Great stuff. Great stuff. I see some of you guys here in the comment section, or live chat, actually. Start Nola's third game in a row without allowing a home run. Improvement. So small improvements. Now that's how we play the Mets. Shut them out. No hit Nola in the house. Let's try to turn up the bats the next 2. I want to see some more for them. Yeah. I think that's also just contributing to the lineup not being healthy at the same time, because, you know, the past couple of games you haven't had Schwarber, Turner, and JT combined, and today you didn't have Bryce, JT, and Turner combined. So at least it looks like you'll have Bryce tomorrow and you'll have JT tomorrow. So basically you'll only be missing Turner. So your lineup will relatively be healthy tomorrow and relatively be normal tomorrow. So that's a good thing at least. We'll see how JT looks. We'll just have to wait and see on that front. So yeah, off topic. The game last week with the Bruins and the Panthers was wicked. That game was right out of the 70s. Yeah, that Bruins Panthers series has been very entertaining, even though a lot of people think the Bruins got kind of screwed on the non-goaltender interference call. I'm kind of mixed on the play. You know, I haven't been able to watch these games in depth just because of the Phillies playing every day, but at least for today, I believe it's going to be Bruins Panthers again. So at least I'll be able to watch that without anything getting in the way. So what the Panthers are up 3-1. So that'll be an interesting watch at least. And then you didn't get the late night games as always. I always fall asleep during those. It's hard to stay up late these days, you know. Getting older in my old age. In my old age of 25. Oh, man. Man. But, yeah. Some good stuff here from the Phillies. Can't complain. Best team in baseball right now. That's all it is. So, yeah, we don't have any calls here on the Anytime Hotline, so I think we're good to end it off here, boys. I appreciate you for tuning in, this early, late in the afternoon. I just felt like it'd be easier to get the stream out than done in the way instead of waiting for later tonight. So I appreciate the guys that did join, who were able to join. And if you're reviewing later tonight, I appreciate you all tuning in whenever. So don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. And also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. Get yourself down to the bank. Some great stuff brewing from your fighting Phils. And, yeah, good stuff. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and thanks to the people that tune in later in the evening. I'll see you next time.